what we're going to do, you want your brow to be flat from about center eye to center eye. Take a look at it. So I'm going to kind of flatten this up right here, and then I'm going to lay this brow back. And you want your brow, or I like to have it anyway, I like to have my brow excuse me, the angle of the nose, whatever this angle is, I like to put the brow at about the same angle. Now what I want to do first though is I want to come in here, get right in the bottom of that ditch. I'm going to take my knife, and I'm going to put a stop cut all the way around that face. You'll eventually do it all the way around everything, but for right now I just want to do that. Okay, and that way when I come in here, I'm going to start taking this back from about the brow line right there straight across like so. You can also come back with your V tool if you want to and just kind of cut that out like that. That works too. There we go. Take a look at it from the side. That's pretty good. Okay, now then you kind of have to round this brow back in here too. Same way. You're making a smooth transition of form here. Want to get about the same slant to it, and then up in here you just kind of round that off like so. And this makes him have a pretty good looking forehead. What do you think about that? That looking pretty good? I think so. Look from the side. See, you're starting to have a pretty good profile. And profiles, by the way, are very important. If you don't get the profile right, it won't even look right from the front. Okay? I like that. So far, that's looking pretty good. Alright, now I want to also, a lot of times, see how I've got this and this. I'm going to come back and just kind of take that out down at a little bit of an angle. That also lets me see if I like the brow. And I do like the brow, so we'll leave him right there. Now, at this point, it is helpful, and for this I'm going to use it. If you've got it, use it. If you don't, you don't have to. And what this is about a 1/4 inch veiner, number 11 gouge. If you don't have a veiner, you can do this. I'm going to go ahead and set this eye socket in again. I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to kind of come in, and once again I'm kind of doing a scoop cut to set in for that eye socket. Now you're coming right back to this line where we put the bridge of the nose, and you want to keep it the same on each side. So you have to stop and look at it. Looks like I need to take out a little more down here. Alright. Now if you've got a veiner, what I like to do is take that veiner and lay it right in there, and at that point I only have to make one scoop, one little cut, and all that does is just kind of round that bottom up, which I like better. Okay, there it is. Now you might notice that I've got these 2 points a little bit different, so I can come back in here and just kind of take my V tool and clean it up. Yeah, that's close. Make it look similar, the same. Need to do a little bit more here, and a little more right down there. That'll work. Now, face is starting to look like more, isn't it? Okay, we like that. Now, I also want to start removing some more wood down here. I want this to be a little deeper. So, once again, I'm going to take my knife. I'm going to come in here right in the bottom of that, and I'm going to put a good stop cut very carefully so you don't cut yourself. Okay, because I'm going to start lowering all this wood. I want my mustache to stand proud of the face and look like something. Okay, here you can hold that in your hand if you want to. You can lay it on the table. However it works for you, and you've got good control, which is what you want to have here. Alright, there we go. You can do that with a gouge if you have one that size and shape. Just want to get a good stop cut all the way up. Alright. Now then I'm going to round this face up a little bit and back into the face. I'm just going to take a little bit out of here and a little bit out of here. Not much. Take a look at it. Now, that's not bad. Now this is actually where I like to use a skew, by the way, because it's just so much easier to round things up. Kind of cut that a little bit right there. Okay, that's not bad. The other side's almost round. I don't have to do a whole lot to him right now. Keep in mind, we'll come back and do some more later. Okay. Now I want to get this wood down. I want to lay this kind of back. I don't like that big. I'm going to start doing the hair here in a little while. Now look here. I can take this and use it as a flat chisel. I'm just going to remove some of this wood. Lay it right there, and I'm kind of laying this back just a little bit, so that when I do start putting hair, I want that a little deeper. See, I can come and do it just a little deeper. Very easy. Of course, you got to get with the grain to make this work. Alright. See, I just kind of rounded that really, and kind of laid that back, and also made the mustache stand out a little bit more. And I'll kind of come around on the other side and do the same thing. Okay. Take a look. Might need to come down a little bit deeper, which is very easy to do with this tool, since I'm using it like a chisel now, really, like a carpenter's chisel almost. I'll lower that a little bit more. And I want to round that up a little bit. It's not such a drastic transition. Now, I want to look at this. If you can see right here, see I've got all this is way too high. It all needs to come back behind the mustache. And here again, I can take this and use it as a chisel to start this up here in the mouth area, just to kind of get some of this wood out of here. You can do this with a knife. You can do this with a shallow gouge. You can do it with a V-tool, as you just saw. Any way you want to do it. Okay. I'm just kind of cutting that, and eventually that's going to be the mouth right there. Okay, now I'll take my tool and start lowering all this down. And when you lower this, that allows you to get away from the point of this triangle also, and it allows you to round it up, which we'll do here. Okay, I gotta go a lot more. I want all this to be behind the mustache. Turn it over and do it the other way. So I'm making the mustache stand out, which is a good thing. And I'm lowering this, and like I said, it also allows me to, now you notice I'm going against the grain right there. That's okay for now, because I can always come back and fix it since I'm removing so much wood. Now, at this point, sometimes it's handier, once again, to go ahead and use a skew, or if you've got it, this is about a number 2 or number 3 flat chisel, but it's excellent for doing that kind of thing. You might even turn it over. And just remove that wood really however you can. Just be careful. Keep you a good stop cut so that you're not messing up your mustache. Just remove some wood here. Okay. Turn it over. This is kind of the boring part. I guess I ought to turn this off, but I don't know. And just keep removing wood. Now you can start seeing I've got it down a little bit, but it needs to come even more. So I'm going to cheat just a minute for time. I don't usually do it like that, but trying to make this video quick. Now you're gonna, as you go, you'll probably run out of your stop cut in places. Get right back in that same line and go ahead and make sure you get you a good stop cut. Okay. Now watch this. I'm gonna go cross grain this time. Just get that little piece out of there. You can go against the grain sometimes, by the way, if you got a real sharp knife and you take real thin slices, which is what I'm doing right there. Just because it's hard, the way I did this, to get back in here. I still want to go a little lower. And you continue doing this until you get all this lowered and looking good. And I'm going to go off camera and kind of finish this so it doesn't take quite so long. I'll be back in just a minute.